Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm Jamie.
Welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Mark and Jamie.
Today we're going to do something different. We are going to go snowshoeing. All right, the first thing we want to talk about are the snowshoes.
So let's take a look at the equipment here. We got some different types here. We've got a bear paw right here,
And yours are a manufactured one.
correct? Aluminum frame
Go ahead.
with a deck here and fairly quick and easy straps to strap onto the boots.
And these are homemade. I made these when I was working with the Boy Scouts. When my kids, I have 3 Eagle Scouts. 3. Very proud of that. I made these. This is white ash. Right. And sometimes if you are in an antique store, you'll see that it has rawhide on there. Well, I went looking for rawhide. I couldn't find it. And so the book showed how to do it with nylon strings. That's what I got. The binding, I used several different bindings. I tried to make some like yours. I had several binding failures out on the trail, so I went to this, and it works great. So I'll show you this when we get out there.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the bottom of my snowshoes. I've got a couple of cleats, pair of cleats, not parakeets. One pivots, as you can see here, where the boot goes in, which gives me the ability to dig in the front, but on the heel it is stationary, so that just, once it's planted, it really holds the ground well.
There are basically 5 different kinds of snowshoes. There's something called a bear paw, and that's a rounder one, round on the top, round on the back. Yours is a modified one, but they're used a lot of times by people who have to turn around in their own circle, maybe utility people working out on an electric box or a phone pole or something like that, where they have to stay kind of in the same place. Yours are a modified one, which means you're going to be able to move around, but you're usually kind of staying in the same place. The next level is these. These are called Huron, and the reason is they have this tail on them. The reason for the tail is when I put it on and I'm walking, that tail keeps me straight. So instead of having the snowshoe go left and right as I walk, that's like my rudder. And the next is an Iroquois, which is the same as this, only it's got a point on the front also. Point on the heel, point on the toe. The reason is if you're going through bushes, you can find your way through the bushes rather than hitting a bush, hitting a tree, hitting a sapling, something like that. You can kind of point through. And the other one is an Alaskan. An Alaskan is just like this, only about, this is perhaps 3 feet. Alaskan would be about 4.5 feet. Same thing, same length, just goes longer with the tail at the bottom. But otherwise, those are the 5 most common snowshoes.
And then another piece of equipment that we usually use with our snowshoes are poles. Some type of pole that provides some stability. Because once you get up on snowshoes, they're wide. You have to use a little bit wider stance, and although that can help with your balance, that can also cause you to get off balance. And it's nice to have something to stabilize yourself a little bit.
Right. Do you want to talk about gaiters?
Sure. Probably not for today, but if you're walking through deep snow, one of the things you'll want to do is you want to protect your ankle from getting full of snow and then going into your boot. And so typically what we'll do is we will put these around our ankle. I'm not going to fasten it all the way up, but it's nice and tight around your ankle, and what that does is keep the snow out. Usually when you're walking in snowshoes, you do sink down just a little bit, and you also kick some snow up as you're walking along. You might pull some snow up, so that's really important. Another important part of all of our equipment is actually our apparel.
And we'll go talk about that inside.
Today in Minnesota, it's about 31 degrees. There's a little bit of a breeze out there, but not much, so it's cool, but it is not really cold.
Not cold.
And so, as far as apparel is concerned, I'm going to be wearing an outer shell, an inner polar fleece lining or pullover, and then under that is a wool, smart wool, long sleeve shirt. It just gives me a nice underlayer to keep me a little bit warm. I also have a pair of snow pants on, ski pants. They are windproof, so that protects me from the wind. That's really important if we do get into any wind. And I am wearing a pair of Sorel type boots. They're not Sorel brand.
Okay.
But they are a higher boot. They're insulated and waterproof. So that's also important. Now let's talk about a couple more things here. Naturally, we need to wear a hat.
Go Twins.
Go Twins. In this particular sport, my hands tend to get a little bit cold sometimes.
So do mine. Yep.
So to keep them warm, I usually wear a pair of mittens. These are down mittens. I have one more item here that might be a little bit of a surprise, and that is a pair of goggles. Now, first of all, you either need a pair of goggles or a pair of sunglasses. There's not a lot of sunlight outside today, but guaranteed, no matter where you are, the bright snow is going to be, it's going to be so bright, it's going to affect your eyesight, and you really want to protect your eyes. A pair of goggles will also protect your face from the wind, and that's also important. So Jamie, you want to talk about what you've got?
Yeah, I just have a couple of different, pretty much the same. I've got a down jacket on. I've got a wool sweater on with a long sleeve tee underneath, because you don't have wool. If you can against your skin, it gets kind of itchy, except that smart wool doesn't. I have two hat and glove options here. I have basically a beanie with driving gloves, and I also have my son gave me my Icelandic wool hat and mittens. And just because your hands get cold, I'm gonna wear these today. I have fleece pants on, and then a pair of wind pants to go over them. And for footwear, I got my Sorels. They're inside, they usually reside outside, but they're inside right now to get warm. And that's all of my inside gear.
All right, so I'm going to close with one item, and that is, I have found myself when I wanted to go snowshoeing, that I got to the location and it was really going to be a pain in the neck to use snowshoes. And that I often bring
No fresh
boots.
snow, it's all packed down, whatever reason.
Exactly, so I will bring hiking boots sometimes. And just wear hiking boots, because otherwise, if I'm walking a long distance, I would prefer not to walk in my big snow boots. I would rather wear a nice pair of comfortable hiking boots.
Yep. All right, ready to go.
All right, we'll see you out there.
All right, these are supposed to be, I think, traditional bindings, but I'm not entirely certain, but it's really easy. You just stick your foot through. You gotta stand on it, hold it down, bring your foot around, come up firmly under the toe piece, and you are ready to go. That's the whole thing.
All right, we're going to do the other binding.
So you just, like me, you just kind of jam your foot forward.
Yep, gotta
Okay.
get your foot fairly forward.
Right.
And then the nice thing about these bindings is you can just simply tighten up this strap. Once it's nice and tight,
Oh, you just pull it.
yeah, I just have to pull it. And then it's nice and secure on my
You're
boot.
ready to go.
That's right, ready
All
to
right,
go.
Ready to go. Here you can see our tracks, mine on your right and his on the left. You can see where the single line goes through the center of it. Looks kind of like a rudder, keep me straight. And then his, of course, are similar.
Wow, what a great day of snowshoeing. Sun is shining, temperature is about 21 degrees.
It's been good. There, you might have seen on the lake, there are ice houses out there. Gotta have 4 inches to support a person, 8 inches to support a truck, and there are pickup trucks out there, and there are ice houses out there. It's the end of January. They get to be there until February 28th, and then everybody's got to come off of every lake. I think northern Minnesota was to May 15th or something, March 15th.
Yeah, ice out.
Oh yeah, no, it's a beautiful day to be out.
All right, hey, if you enjoy what you see, please hit like and please subscribe.